Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Sophia. So we all know that horse riding is, if not the most expensive sport on the planet, then it's definitely on the list of the most expensive sports on the planet. And you might think that only rich people and millionaires can afford to do it at a higher level. And well, you're not really wrong. I can't contradict you there. But there are some ways to get, farther in the sport and in the higher levels, even if you do not have a lot of money. So basically that's what I'm going to be discussing about today. I personally don't come from a lot of money. I don't come from a horsey family, and I only do lessons. I've never leased or owned a horse. I simply cannot afford to do that. So one thing about horse riding, if you want to get far in the sport, you have two options. A, either you're super duper rich and can afford anything, or B, you've got great connections. Now obviously we're already crossing the first option off the list, so in this video I'm mostly going to share social tips, money saving tips, and just general tips on how to be a good equestrian. Because if you're a good equestrian, you get more chances. People see you, people admire you, therefore you get more chances and more opportunities. So in the background, you can see me making some cinnamon rolls, and after that, there will probably be some stock videos. So if you listen to the audio only, you're not really missing much. Anyways, let's get started. So my first tip is always buy secondhand. The only exception is helmets. And obviously, my first recommendation is Vinted. I love the app so much, especially because you can really connect with the seller. You can ask them so many different questions. You can ask for extra pictures. You can even haggle the price, So Vinted is just such a great app. It's my favorite app ever. I literally put a screen time on it because I'm so obsessed with it. And when I mean by secondhand, I'm only referring to riders' equipment. Because, and this ties into my next tip, if you don't own a horse, if you're not planning on buying a horse in the future, and if you don't even lease a horse, please never ever buy tack. If you're on a budget, trust me when I say you do not need a halter, you do not need a saddle pad to have a matching outfit. You don't need any of that if you're on a budget, and it's so not worth it. I personally bought a saddle pad, and thank God that it was one of those very cheap ones. I only bought it because I like the color, and it was so not worth it. I used it a maximum of 5 times, and it's just gonna be collecting dust. Trust me, you do not need it. My third tip kind of ties into the first two ones, and that is buy clothes with responsibility. You don't need the newest Lemio, breeches, tops, whatever, and you don't need to buy something just because it is from a really well-known brand. Prioritize getting a good pair of breeches, or at least 2 to 3 pairs of breeches. It depends on how often you go. You can pick them like this. You can have 1 pair of winter breeches, 1 pair of, legging hybrids, whatever they're called, those thinner breeches for summer, and then a normal pair of breeches. Make sure that you buy something with pockets, grippy seat, and high quality material rather than something that just looks pretty. For example, and I don't want to trash on any brands because this is a brand that I really admire, but I've seen this brand on Instagram and they came out with these super cute leggings in a lot of really cute colors. But when I took a closer look at them, they not only did barely have a grippy seat, it was more of a design. They didn't even have pockets, and they were $60 too. At this point, just go in normal leggings. It literally makes no difference. My next tip, this one's super important. Start riding at a barn and stick with it. So I actually have an example for this. At my barn, there's this student, and I know she's been riding at my barn for a long time, I think maybe 5 years. I don't know that much about her, but this is just a guess. Anyway, a long time, quite a long time. And she doesn't have her own horse. She's a lesson student like me, but she got the opportunity to ride my trainer's best horse, and I mean a horse that has been to international competitions, jumps to 150, 160. Go to a barn, stick with it, because you get more opportunities, you get closer with the owners, the coaches, everyone there. You get to make friends and make actually, good long-term connections, instead if you just hop from one barn to another. Yeah, it is true that you get to meet a lot of people, but you don't really make those high-quality connections that you need in the horse world. And also, I know this sounds super shallow, I know it sounds super bad to make connections just for the sake of having connections, But you're actually going to meet some people that you're not only going to want to have around you because of the connection, but you're also going to meet some really lovely people. Like, I generally have so many nice people at my barn that I absolutely love to hang out with. Next is you don't have to ride often, you just have to ride with purpose. Now, obviously, if you're on a budget, most likely you can't really ride more often than, let's say, 2 to 3 times a week. I don't think anybody can afford to, like, if you're on a budget, if you're an equestrian, a poor equestrian like me, you most likely can't afford to ride more than 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes some people ride even just like once a week. So that means when you do have lessons, try to make the most of them. You can keep a sort of journal or even just a piece of paper or like a note in your phone and just write things that you want to improve. And then focus on those specific things in your next lesson. Next is go to shows even if you don't compete. First of all, it's kind of the same purpose. You meet a lot of people. It's great to make connections, but it's also really important because you get to see, shows from an inside perspective. You get to see what happens at shows, how exactly things happen, and you also get to, see top equestrians riding performance horses and see how they act in the ring and see how they do, what mistakes they make, and you can learn a lot just by watching. In this sport, watching is also learning. You can learn a lot just by watching, trust me. And that is why another tip I have is always try to watch others people's lessons when you can. Another one is try to help out around the barn. And that is because coaches and owners will see that you're dedicated, that you're not just like another lesson student who's just there for the lesson, they come and they leave. They see that you're someone who's dedicated, someone who wants to learn, someone who wants to take up the unglamorous work when it comes to horses. For example, what you can do, you can tack up other horses for other lessons, like offer to, walk horses, wash horses, offer to groom other horses for people. You can sweep around the barn when you see that it's like there's a lot of hay on the ground. You can ask, oh, hey, I see these saddle pads are all over the place. Maybe I can arrange them for you or something. Or, oh, this bridle doesn't go there. I can, put things back in their place. This shows that you're someone who's hardworking, who's dedicated, who's interested, and who also actually cares about the place that they ride at, and you're not just someone who comes and goes, Next is learn basic things about horses from YouTube. Even if you do not have a horse, if you plan and want to become an actual good equestrian, learn to tack up. You cannot go far in the sport without tacking up. That's basic. You have to learn. You have to know how to prepare your own horse. I know this Esme has a really good series for beginners and she explains really well the tacking up process and things, so you could go watch her videos, for example. Basic feeding, even if you don't own a horse, it's pretty important to know what a horse eats. And also basic care, just learn how to groom a horse and how to comb their mane and tail. Next is, if you can and have time, try to stick around more at the barn. If you want to be recognized by the coaches and the owners, you can't be just a lesson student who comes to their lesson and leaves immediately. If you want to get recognized, try to actually connect with these people, ask them questions, spend time with them, try to learn as much as you can about the stable that you ride at. Next tip is kind of similar to the previous one. Always be early. It's kind of the same reason, but also you're gonna have just, more time for yourself and you're not gonna be in a rush. But it is mainly the previous reason, you just get to connect more and, spend some extra time with the people and the horses at your barn. Ride whatever horse you get and never complain, even if they're difficult, even if they're green or whatever, even though it's not very likely that they're gonna give you a green horse, but you never know if they trust you. Again, as I mentioned previously, if they trust you enough, they might give you a green horse. But again, never ever complain no matter what kind of horse you get, because every horse is a chance to learn something new. Even if you get, for example, an old senior horse and you want to do jumping, but obviously a senior horse can't jump, work on other skills, improve your seat, improve your core, improve your sitting trots, canter, Treat every horse you ride or get in touch with like it's your own horse. This is a bit extra, but it's something that works for me, and it might not work for every single person. It really depends to the sort of barn that you go to. But I like to go to the lessons at the end of the day, not all the time. I do like the morning lessons most of the time because it's really quiet and chill, and obviously it's the beginning of the day. But sometimes I do go to the afternoon lessons, especially when I have high school in the morning. And why this benefits me is most likely in the evening, you're gonna be one of the few people at the barn. I'm almost always my coach's last lesson, and therefore it is a good chance to connect better with your trainer because there's gonna be really few people at the barn. You're most likely gonna be their main focus, especially if you happen to be alone in your lesson. My coach usually does like 3 people maximum per lesson, and since I'm usually her last lesson, I'm just like one singular person in the lesson, so it's like a private lesson, you know, which is super great. They focus more on you, and yeah, again, just a better chance to connect with your coach. Another tip is ask your coach smart questions. This is a method to, you know, start conversations, but it's also, you know, it's really important to get advice from a professional. For Christmas or birthdays, tell people to get you, you know, equestrian things. If they don't know what to get you, which is most likely going to happen because most people don't come from horsey families, tell them to just send the money that they would have spent to buy you something. Just use the money, save it up, and buy something for yourself for horse riding that you know you're gonna need. Next is don't spend money on horse treats. If you really want to give your horse treats after your lesson, first of all, you can always ask. My barn has like a bucket of treats I know that they keep somewhere, and you can just ask the coach, hey, can I get treats from this bucket and give them to the horse I rode, and most likely they're gonna say yes. But if you do want to bring your own treats, I would suggest only buy things for the horse that you would have bought anyways, like apples, bananas, carrots. Next is a sort of social tip. Try to remember things about people and always ask them questions. Now, and obviously I'm referring to people at the barn, and I mean, you know, people like the coaches, the owners, people that have their own horses that they ride there, you know, because people obviously love to talk about themselves, and it's a good opportunity to, again, just connect to the others. The main tip that obviously was mentioned in the beginning of the video is try to get good connections in the horse world. That's sort of the only way you can actually succeed if you don't have a lot of money. So most of these tips you're gonna see that are sort of going in that direction of make good connections, stay in touch with people. It's really important. Try to stay calm in any situation. Don't overreact when a horse books, and don't get angry in your lessons because something isn't going your way or you're not doing something right. If you do get super angry or lose your temper, at least try your hardest to not show it to your coach. You want to be seen as someone who's reliable, who's trustworthy, who's able to, you know, keep their feelings in check. This way, again, people can trust you. People know you're good to work with different types of horses, and you're not someone who just explodes, especially because horses can really feel emotion. So it's really important to learn to keep your feelings in check, not only for the coach, but for the horse also. Next tip is try to learn how to lunge if possible. It's a very useful skill to have. And for example, I've also watched YouTube videos. There are some really good videos explaining lunging on YouTube. There's lots of them. Just because you saw a video, it doesn't mean that automatically you can lunge. So yeah, do watch those videos, but keep in mind, just because you watch the videos and let's say you did understand what's going on in them, and you know theoretically how to lunge, please don't actually go and say, oh, I learned how to lunge, you can give me this horse to lunge. Try to at least do it with your coach first, or in the presence of your coach, so they know that you can actually do it, because something in theory may seem easier than it actually is in practice. If you know your barn is losing students or they suffer in popularity, you can offer to manage a sort of Instagram or TikTok or social media account for them, and you post things about the barn, or like make fun videos about the barn, or just like, you know, fun facts. And I'm not just saying this, I've genuinely seen how social media can help you so much, especially if you're growing a business. Like, it is so important for horse riding barns to have a social media account. Even if you don't post often, it's really important just to have it. It's really important for people to be able to find you online, because obviously everybody is on social media nowadays. Even your grandma is probably on social media nowadays. So it's very important that you have at least a Facebook account. Maybe even a website. My barn has a website, and it's super helpful, especially because you have all the information there and you don't get bothered by tons of messages and comments and likes and stuff like that if you don't have time for them. But try to have at least one sort of social media. You can start a social media account for yourself. If you like making videos, if you're funny, if you know you can attract views, then this is your chance and this is your sign to do it. If people like to watch you, it's going to be very easy to earn money. And I've actually seen this girl on TikTok who is in the creator program. I don't know what it's called, but she basically makes money out of TikToks, and in every TikTok she talks about this plan of her to use the money that she's earning to buy a horse. And she's actually become quite popular. I don't know, maybe you've seen her on your For You page yourself. So this is your sign. If she can do it, you can also do it. My last tip is kind of a sadder one. If you're struggling with money really badly to the point where you can't even enjoy horse riding to the fullest, my best advice is take a break, because if you don't, you're gonna become very burnt out and you're just gonna want to quit. You're gonna start hating the sport. You're gonna start dreading everything. So just take a break until your finances are a bit more stable. And with that, I'm gonna end the video here. Let me know if these tips helped you. Let me know how your equestrian journey is going in the comments, and if you want to implement any of these tips. And if you like them and want more, definitely tell me, because I have a lot more tips that I've written down, and if you guys want them, there might be a part 2. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new and helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!